Ezekiel 40. In the 5th and 20th year of our captivity, in the beginning of the year, in the 10th day of the month, in the 14th year after that, the city was smitten. In the selfsame day, the hand of Jehovah was upon me, and he brought me thither. In the visions of God brought he me into the land of Israel, and set me down upon a very high mountain, whereon was, as it were, the frame of a city on the south. And he brought me thither, and behold, there was a man, whose appearance was like the appearance of brass, with a line of flax in his hand, and a measuring reed, and he stood in the gate. And the man said unto me, Son of man, behold with thine eyes, and hear with thine ears, and set thy heart upon all that I shall show thee. For to the intent that I may show them unto thee, art thou brought hither. Declare all that thou seest to the house of Israel. And behold, a wall on the outside of the house round about, and in the man's hand a measuring reed 6 cubits long, of a cubit, and a handbreadth each. So he measured the thickness of the building, 1 reed, and the height 1 reed. Then came he unto the gate, which looketh toward the east, and went up the steps thereof. And he measured the threshold of the gate, 1 reed broad, and the other threshold 1 reed broad. And every lodge was 1 reed long, and 1 reed broad, and the space between the lodges was 5 cubits. And the threshold of the gate by the porch of the gate toward the house was 1 reed. He measured also the porch of the gate toward the house, 1 reed. Then measured he the porch of the gate, 8 cubits, and the posts thereof 2 cubits, and the porch of the gate was toward the house. And the lodges of the gate eastward were 3 on this side, and 3 on that side. They 3 were of 1 measure, and the posts had 1 measure on this side and on that side. And he measured the breadth of the opening of the gate, 10 cubits, and the length of the gate, 13 cubits, and a border before the lodges, 1 cubit on this side, and a border 1 cubit on that side, and the lodges 6 cubits on this side, and 6 cubits on that side. And he measured the gate from the roof of the one lodge to the roof of the other, a breadth of 25 cubits, door against door. He made also posts, 60 cubits, and the court reached unto the posts round about the gate. And from the forefront of the gate at the entrance unto the forefront of the inner porch of the gate were 50 cubits. And there were closed windows to the lodges, and to their posts within the gate round about, and likewise to the arches, and windows were round about inward, and upon each post were palm trees. Then brought he me into the outer court, and lo, there were chambers and a pavement, made for the court round about. 30 chambers were upon the pavement, and the pavement was by the side of the gates, answerable unto the length of the gates, even the lower pavement. Then he measured the breadth from the forefront of the lower gate unto the forefront of the inner court, without 100 cubits, both on the east and on the north. And the gate of the outer court, whose prospect is toward the north, he measured the length thereof, and the breadth thereof. And the lodges thereof were 3 on this side and 3 on that side, and the posts thereof and the arches thereof were after the measure of the first gate. The length thereof was 50 cubits, and the breadth 25 cubits. And the windows thereof, and the arches thereof, and the palm trees thereof, were after the measure of the gate whose prospect is toward the east. And they went up unto it by 7 steps, and the arches thereof were before them. And there was a gate to the inner court, over against the other gate, both on the north and on the east. And he measured from gate to gate 100 cubits. And he led me toward the south, and behold, a gate toward the south. And he measured the posts thereof, and the arches thereof, according to these measures. And there were windows in it, and in the arches thereof, round about, like those windows. The length was 50 cubits, and the breadth 25 cubits. And there were 7 steps to go up to it, and the arches thereof were before them, and it had palm trees, one on this side, and another on that side, upon the posts thereof. and there was a gate to the inner court toward the south. And he measured from gate to gate toward the south 100 cubits. Then he brought me to the inner court by the south gate, and he measured the south gate according to these measures, and the lodges thereof, and the posts thereof, and the arches thereof, according to these measures. And there were windows in it, and in the arches thereof round about. It was 50 cubits long, and 25 cubits broad. And there were arches round about, 25 cubits long, and 5 cubits broad. And the arches thereof were toward the outer court, and palm trees were upon the posts thereof, and the ascent to it had 8 steps. And he brought me into the inner court toward the east, and he measured the gate according to these measures, and the lodges thereof, and the posts thereof, and the arches thereof, according to these measures. And there were windows therein, and in the arches thereof round about. It was 50 cubits long, and 25 cubits broad. And the arches thereof were toward the outer court, and palm trees were upon the posts thereof, on this side and on that side, and the ascent to it had 8 steps. And he brought me to the north gate, and he measured it according to these measures. The lodges thereof, the posts thereof, and the arches thereof. And there were windows therein round about. The length was 50 cubits, and the breadth 25 cubits. And the posts thereof were toward the outer court, and palm trees were upon the posts thereof, on this side and on that side, and the ascent to it had 8 steps. And a chamber with the door thereof was by the posts at the gates. There they washed the burnt offering. And in the porch of the gate were 2 tables on this side, and 2 tables on that side, to slay thereon the burnt offering, and the sin offering, and the trespass offering. And on the one side without, as one goeth up to the entry of the gate toward the north, were 2 tables, and on the other side, which belonged to the porch of the gate, were 2 tables. 4 tables were on this side, and 4 tables on that side, by the side of the gate. 8 tables, whereupon they slew the sacrifices. And there were 4 tables for the burnt offering of hewn stone, 1 cubit and a half long, and 1 cubit and a half broad, and 1 cubit high, whereupon they laid the instruments wherewith they slew the burnt offering and the sacrifice. And the hooks, a handbreadth long, were fastened within round about, and upon the tables was the flesh of the oblation. And without the inner gate were chambers for the singers in the inner court, which was at the side of the north gate, and their prospect was toward the south. One at the side of the east gate, having the prospect toward the north. And he said unto me, This chamber, whose prospect is toward the south, is for the priests, the keepers of the charge of the house. And the chamber whose prospect is toward the north is for the priests, the keepers of the charge of the altar. These are the sons of Zadok, who from among the sons of Levi come near to Jehovah to minister unto him. And he measured the court 100 cubits long and 100 cubits broad foursquare, and the altar was before the house. Then he brought me to the porch of the house, and measured each post of the porch, 5 cubits on this side, and 5 cubits on that side. And the breadth of the gate was 3 cubits on this side, and 3 cubits on that side. The length of the porch was 20 cubits, and the breadth 11 cubits, even by the steps whereby they went up to it. And there were pillars by the posts, one on this side, and another on that side.